The words I always use are, I was sliding towards depression.
Sliding towards depression.
Because look, clinical depression is a whole nother thing. So I won't diminish what other people have gone through by saying that's where I was. I was not there. I was sliding towards it. I had a deep melancholy, a sense of dread, a growing anxiety, but I wasn't crippled by it, and I was still able to connect with people and go out. But I was profoundly lazy with an aura of crushing fear and hopelessness.
That's what I want to get to. That's the word, the F word. It's one of my favorite words, because I think that's kind of the beginning of everybody's quest, everybody's mission, everybody's path in life. I know that's how it was for me. And I said this in my Hall of Fame speech. It's the darkest time of my life was when I led the NFL and dropped passes. That was my deepest, darkest depression, except I went to alcohol and other things. And for you, because I've pinpointed it, I knew what I was afraid of, but I knew I was afraid, but I didn't know what I was afraid of. I just had this deep fear. And I want to know, were you able to pinpoint, and as you look back, what were you afraid of?
Probably not. Now it is patently obvious to me.
What was the biggest fear? What was stopping you from getting up out of bed?
That I would never be great. So if you don't try, then you have potential, and potential is intoxicating. It's why being young is so exciting. The whole world's before you. You have so much time. And so all of that potential is that. It feels good to have that much ahead of you. So when in your mind you're like, I could become the next Steven Spielberg. And let me see if I can get this concept across, because this is very important, and this is my warning to everybody. There is a rhythm to days that will lull you into thinking that there's always time to do it tomorrow. There's no sense of like the passage of time. Once you're out of school, there's no real markers, especially living in LA. Jesus, there's not even seasons. So it's just like there's this seamless sense that things are the same. When in reality, it's like the river is rushing by you, the river of time, and you're never going to get those moments back. And as that time passes, so does some of your potential, because to really make the most of your potential, unfortunately, it requires an obscene amount of energy and an obscene amount of time. So you lull yourself into thinking you will always have more tomorrows, which of course you will not. Nothing is guaranteed. I may not make it to the end of this sentence before I have an aneurysm and die, and I'm well aware of that. So it's like you've got to try to make the most of your time. But when I was there and I had this unidentified, deep sense of like existential dread over I may not be good, ever be great at something because I don't have the abilities, then leaving it in the realm of potential, leaving it as an uneasy question, but at least it's unanswered, because it was far better to worry that I might not ever be great than to know I was never going to be great. And once I head down the path of execution, I am eternally walking towards finding out the answer to the question of whether or not I will ever be great. Now, of course, my mindset around all of that has changed. I don't think like that anymore, but that's exactly where I was. That's exactly what haunted me and what freaked me out. Now, the thing that I value myself for is the sincere pursuit of greatness. Whether or not I ever achieve it is literally irrelevant to me now. I don't reward myself emotionally for actual achievement. I reward myself emotionally for sincere pursuit. So that was a huge change. But back then, that's what I was afraid of.